Good morning, 5th grade. Today we're going to continue reading in Homer P. Fig, Chapter 19. Before we get started, we have a quick write. It says, what do you think will happen to Homer next? Why do you think this? Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the focus question. Our focus question for today is, how does Professor Fleabottom compare to the other characters Homer has met on his journey? Our vocabulary for today is exploit, and that is to make use or to benefit from something. And so if you exploit someone's dumbness, you would use them to do stuff for you that is wrong, but they don't realize it's wrong because they're dumb. So you would draw a picture to align to this picture because this person is exploiting the other person. They're treating the other person like a puppet, meaning they're getting that person to do what they want them to do. Our next vocabulary word is swine, and that's another word for pig. So cute. And our last word is perceptive, and that's when you have insight into someone's motives because you're able to pick up on clues that not other people are able to pick up on. And so this detective is perceptive. All right, turn the page, and we're going to be reading in Chapter 19. And so at the end of Chapter 18, we're on page 102, but at the end of Chapter 18, Mr. Willow gets married to Kate Nibley, and basically Frank Nibley gets one of the workers on the steamship to take Homer away, and Homer ends up in it's called steerage, but it's the bottom layer of the boat where they keep all of the cargo and luggage. It's not meant for people, it's meant for animals and cargo. And so Homer ends up in the steerage part of the boat in a cage with some animals. Okay, and they were trying to get rid of Homer because they know that he's smart enough to, disrupt their plan to take advantage of Mr. Willow. All right, so we're on page 102, and we're going to use our CSPS strategy. It says, folks in Pine Swamp like to tell the one about Silas Wiggin, who used to work at the dry goods store, how Silas loved pork above all things. Ham, rib, chops, cutlets, bacon, fried cracklings, liver and kidneys, and pickled trotters. If it wasn't pork, Silas wouldn't eat it. The pigs must have loved him too, and proved it one Saturday night when he came stumbling home, the worse for corn liquor, and made the mistake of passing out in the pigsty. Hogs ate him, nothing left but his hat and boots. The story of Silas Wiggin comes to mind when I wake up in the smelly dark with a pig licking at my foot. I kick that little pig, and it scurries to the far side of the crate and commences to squealing. The other pigs join right in. I'm in a pig crate inside the ship, trapped with livestock. Help! I shout, down here, help, help! With all the noise from the pigs and chickens, it takes me a while to notice the big steam engine has ceased thumping. Feels like the ship has stopped moving, too. Help! Help! Somebody help me! I scream and shout for an hour or more until my throat is so sore and dry I can't get a word out. My head aches as if it was crashed into a pipe, and my belly hurts from not eating, and I'm thirsty and exhausted, but fearful of falling asleep, wishing I was back in the barn, sleeping on a pile of nice clean hay. Squint and Leach used to beat us and starve us, but he never fed us to the pigs. Good old Squint, I'll take him over Frank Nibley any day, or Mr. Willow for that matter. All right, we'll stop right there because we have information about our character, our setting, and our problem. And so let's start with the character. In box 1, we know that Homer is helplessly trapped inside a pig crate under the steamship and screams for help until he loses his voice. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for 1B. And for the quote, we would write down this part on page 103 that says, "I scream and shout for an hour or more until my throat is so dry I can't get a word out." Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the setting. And we know from page 102 that Homer is trapped inside a pig crate under the steamship. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the quote. And you would write down this quote on page 102. "The story of Silas Wiggin comes to mind when I wake up in the smelly dark with a pig licking at my foot." Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the problem. And for our problem, we know that Homer he's trapped inside a pig crate. And we're going to add to the problem, but you can write down that first part right now. Homer is trapped inside a pig crate. All right, and we're going to continue reading on page 103. "After about 100 years of feeling miserable and scared, there come a loud rumble as the hatch lifts from the deck. Daylight pours into the hold. This would be a good time to scream and shout for help, but my voice is gone, wasted on the dark. All I can do is cling to the slats and make pitiful little noises as the crate is lifted out of the hold and swung up over the side of the ship and set down on the docks with the other crates of livestock. The pigs are squealing so loud that somebody kicks the side of the crate and yells, 'Settle down, you miserable critters!' I manage to get my hand through the slats and tug on his trouser leg. Next thing, a big red whiskery face is up close, studying me. 'Holy smoking chimney!' he exclaims, leaping back. 'The pig looks just like a boy.' Turn the page. 'Ew, ew,' I croak, pointing to my throat, trying to let him know my voice don't work. 'Sam, Jack, Ezra, come take a look at this.' Soon enough, a crowd gathers to gawk. 'I heard the children raised by wolves,' someone says. 'This is the first I've seen raised by pigs.' 'Poor creature, never learned to speak. All he can do is croak and squeal.' 'Maybe he's really half pig. He's dirty enough. Check his feet. See if he's got hooves.' 'Oh, look, the little thing is getting mad. Squeal, little pig boy, squeal.' They start poking sticks into the cage to torment me. I grab one and poke back, which makes them all laugh. I'm spitting mad, but my throat is so raged and sore to get a word out. All I can manage is some voices that probably sound like oinks, which only makes things worse. 'Squeal!' they shout, urging me to squeal. Somebody pokes another stick at my face, and I snatch it away with my teeth, just like an animal. Look at him snarl. The pig boy has strong teeth. Good thing he's in that crate. So we'll stop right there because we have the second part of the problem. Not only is Homer trapped inside the crate, but people begin to poke him with sticks and make fun of him. Press pause to write down your answer in 3A and play when you're ready for the quote. And for the quote, we'll write this part on page 104 that says, 'They start poking sticks into the cage to torment me. I grab one and poke back, which makes them all laugh.' Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. We are at the bottom of page 104. My tormentors are dock workers and merchantmen and sailors and a few boys not older than me. One of the boys has been sent to feed the pigs a pail of slop, but decides it'll be more fun to throw the stuff at me. Getting splattered with rotten vegetables don't improve my mood. I shriek and spit and bare my teeth. Before long, they're backing away, fear in their eyes, half convinced I got rabies like a mad dog. Can't talk, but I can snarl, and when a hand comes near the crate, I snap at it, grrr, grrr, just like the animal they think I am. Now the crowd of onlookers is laughing themselves silly. They never see anything as funny as the amazing pig boy. The kid who threw the garbage gets inspired enough to fetch another pail of slops. When he slings the bucket at me, everyone applauds and cheers. "Eat, pig boy, eat!" they all chant. I'm wiping garbage off my face when a pair of knee-high polished boots strides up the side of the crate. Can't quite see the owner of the fine pair of boots, but he makes himself heard soon enough. "Who's in charge here?" the boot man demands. "Who does this boy belong to? Speak up! You're mighty free with your taunts, but you can't answer a simple question. Is that it? I ask again, who is in charge of this boy?" The big man with the whiskery red face scowls and folds his arms. "Who wants to know?" "Fenton J. Fleabottom, Professor," he announces, and as he scrapes and bows, sweeping away the stovepipe top hat, I catch a glimpse of a long, narrow face, a curly blonde mustache, and lively gray eyes that sparkle with mischief. Turn the page. "And who are you, my good sir? Is this your crate? Are these your pigs?" The man won't give his name. The pigs are mine, right enough. And the boy? Never seen him before. Never seen him! Remarkable! Raise him with your pigs, but never noticed he was a boy? You're twisting my words. Professor Fleabottom squares up with his hands on his hips. "Consider yourself fortunate that I don't twist your pimple nose," he says in a voice so powerful and commanding that the crowd of tormentors starts to melt away, as if shameful of what they've done. "If I hadn't just had these boots polished, I would kick your pig-smelling backside from here to New Jersey. Unlock this crate before I whistle for the coppers and have you arrested." The man hurries over, and a moment later the side of the crate falls away. The little pigs stay huddled in the corner, but I scoot out and crawl to my feet, stinking of garbage and manure. I've never felt so miserable and empty and mad all at once, and when the red-faced man sees the anger in my eyes, he backs slowly away. "Bring a bucket of clean water," Professor Fleabottom demands. It takes more than one bucket to rinse off the smell of pigs. They soak me until I'm drenched. Then Professor Fleabottom hands me a ladle of cool, clean water, and the soothing drink eases my throat and brings my voice back. I'm able to look up at Professor Fleabottom and say, "Thank you, sir," like a real human being. Fenton J. Fleabottom doffs his tall stovepipe hat and makes a short bow from the waist. "I am yours to command, young man," he says. "Remarkable act you've got. You play an outraged swine like you were born to the part. A rare talent indeed. Tell me, young man, are you otherwise engaged?" Turns out Professor Fleabottom owns a traveling medicine show, and he wants to hire me. "Our geek just died, poor fellow, choked on a chicken head," he said. Seeing the look on my face, he adds, "Don't worry, my boy, you needn't bite off the heads off live chickens. Any small bird will do." And we'll stop right there because we have the solution. In box 4, we would write, Professor Fleabottom hears what's happening to Homer and forces the man to unlock the crate and free Homer. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for 4B. And for the quote, you would write this quote down on page 106. "Now unlock this crate before I whistle for the coppers and have you arrested." Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the paragraph. It says, how does Professor Fleabottom respond to Homer's situation? What does this reveal about Professor Fleabottom?